What an infuriating weekend. One law for you and me, quite another for activists, agitators and protesters. Some of you are out of work, put on the sidelines to help slow the spread of the coronavirus. Many of you are working from home for the same reason. Some of you have missed out on going to the funerals of loved ones. Some of you can't visit loved ones across state borders. Some of you have worked all your lives to build a business and employ people, and you've had to close the doors, lay off workers and hope for the best. You've had kids at home, the kids' sport's been cancelled, your sport's been cancelled, you can't even go and watch any sport, and you've missed out on the gym or the nail salon. Many people haven't even been able to visit elderly relatives in aged care homes. People haven't gone to the movies, didn't march on Anzac Day, haven't gone to church, missed out on Easter services, didn't have a family feast to break the Ramadan fast, and haven't gone on holidays. This is what law-abiding citizens have sacrificed. This is what we've all done, sometimes grudgingly, for the common good. But state governments across the nation in different ways either encouraged or allowed this to happen on the weekend.
Estimates of between 40 and 50,000 people gathering at Town Hall and then marching through the city to Belmore Park.
Black Lives Matter is coming to a rowdy end tonight. At least 10,000 people took part in a peaceful march through the city.
Marching through the city, it's exactly what the government didn't want. But with this crowd inspired by a court victory and with so many people here, police had to let it happen. In fact, they led the parade.
Yet these state governments just don't get it. They think the rights of the protesters trump everybody else's rights. They're not too scared to kick you off beaches, fine you for walking in the park or send around the police when your neighbours dob you in for having mates over for a barbie, but they are too scared to take on the protesters. Not one premier was prepared to unambiguously stand up against this, to lay it on the line early and stay the course. Some tried to dissuade attendance. Gladys Berejiklian in New South Wales tried to stop the protests after first giving them a wink and a nod. And in South Australia, the police just gave them an exemption from the rules. You know what this tells us, doesn't it? It doesn't tell us anything about the issue that was being protested. No one supports police brutality, racism or murder in Minneapolis or anywhere else. Now, what the weekend told us is that our state political leaders don't get it. They don't understand that they work for the people, for the mainstream. And people expect one law for all. And these state governments have shown voters that they don't get that. They've shown they're prepared to take the mainstream people in this country for granted in order to appease noisy protesters. But here's the rub. The governments that ignore the rights and sacrifices of law-abiding mainstream citizens to try and appease activist mobs are going to lose on both counts. They'll alienate the mainstream, obviously, but they'll also only encourage more and more activism and interruptions from agitators on an endless list of issues.